Once again, we're staying in our AutoCAD drawing interface.dwg, and we're diving deeper into the AutoCAD interface as we work through this chapter. In this particular video, we're going to check out how we work with dialog boxes and palettes in AutoCAD. Now, this is how AutoCAD functions on a generic level. You use dialog boxes to input information. You use palettes to utilize information and data in your AutoCAD drawings as well. Now, there is a subtle difference between the two, and I want to make sure that you're aware of how they work. Now, I want you to stay in the Home tab on the ribbon for the moment. And we're going to go to the Annotation panel here and click on the flyout here. Now, this is all of our annotation styles here. So you can see these icons here. We've got text styles, dimension styles, leader styles, and table styles. I'd like you to click on the A with the paintbrush. That will open up the text style dialog box. Now, you know it's a dialog box. And how do you know it's a dialog box? Because it says text style at the top horizontally. So anything that's got a horizontal title bar tends to be a dialog box. And you'll notice a dialog box also has the buttons, the little tick boxes. So if I want this to be annotative, I tick that box. Can you see that little tick box, or check box as you may call it? And then I uncheck it to switch off the annotative function there. That is a dialog box. Now, dialog boxes in AutoCAD can be resized. Hover over the edge, you get the double arrow, click and drag. I can make that bigger or smaller. Notice it goes to a default minimum size. Same if I do it this way, drag it up and down. Can you see there's a default minimum size? So that's how you work with a dialog box. And you'll often find that there's an apply button, cancel button, and there's always a help button so that you can get context sensitive help on text styles. Now, I'm not going to change any settings in there. I can click on the cross there like so to close it, or I can click on cancel. Either one of those will close the dialog box. Now, a palette is very different. It's a bit more intuitive. So if we stay on the Home tab on the ribbon and go to the Layers panel here and click on the Layer Properties icon. Now, this will open up the Layer Properties Manager palette. See, the title bar is vertical. There's Layer Properties Manager just there. If I click and drag on the title bar, I can drag that around just like I can a dialog box, you'll notice. I can make it bigger and smaller. Again, just like a dialog box, hover over the edge, get the double arrows, drag. I can make it longer, hover here, get the double arrows again. It's a little bit of a fiddle sometimes if you've got a sensitive mouse like I have. But you can see there's all my layers. And then I can hover, get the double arrows. I can make the columns bigger and smaller, and so on and so forth. So that's how I can set it all up. But there is some functionality available with your palettes, and they are these icons here. So I've got properties. If I click on properties, I can move it, size it, close it. I can allow docking, yes or no. So it's ticked at the moment, so I can dock this palette if I want to. I can anchor it left or I can anchor it right. I can also set a thing called auto hide or transparency. Now, all of those settings I'm going to leave as default right now. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click and drag the Layer Properties Manager to the left. Can you see I get kind of a ghost image? When I release the mouse button, it's now docked on the left-hand side. If I click and drag there on the edge, I can make it bigger and smaller, and so on. Now, what I can also do there, so that it's not taking up so much space, is I can switch on what is called Auto Hide. See that little icon there? Click there, and now there's the Layer Properties Manager. When I hover over it, you'll notice it comes out. When I move away, it disappears. That's what Auto Hide does. Now, you'll also see there's a little grainy bunch of dots there. You can just see them when I hover over it. And what that means is I can hover over it and I can undock it. But before I do that, let's go back to the Auto Hide and switch it back on so that it's visible all the time rather than auto hiding. And then, can you see I can click here on this little set of dots, click and drag, and I can then undock it as well, you'll notice. There you go, it's undocked now, you'll see. So that's the Layer Properties Manager. That's how quick and easy it is to use. Now, we'll go into layers and things in a little bit more detail later on and look at the settings for layers in the Layer Properties Manager. But that's purely how you work with a dialog box and a palette when you're working with your AutoCAD interface. Now, there's lots of different dialog boxes and palettes. So again, go and check them out, see how they work, see how you can dock them, move them around, and so on your AutoCAD screen.